Jermaine Mendonça, Chapter 4, Segment 4. Inferences about heritability from twin studies make several simplifying assumptions. That genes affect behavior, the prenatal environment is much more similar in identical twins than in non-identical twins, that estimates of heritability based on comparing monozygotic and dizygotic twins are going to overestimate the influence of genes. That quote can be found on page 133. Although rare, cases of identical twins who are reared apart offer powerful insights. These are seen through adoption studies, which are studies of identical twins separated at birth. And if twins are raised apart yet still exhibit similar behavior, their shared genes are then responsible for their behavior. Cases of twins being raised apart and then one twin developing schizophrenia are rare, but it does happen. Concordance rate for schizophrenia is highest in monozygotic twins being raised apart. Genes also play a major role in the concordance rate for schizophrenia in identical twins and in non-identical twins. Children are then open to developing schizophrenia as well. So even if the one set of twins does not have schizophrenia, it runs in the family, so their children will then be open to developing it. The interaction of genes and experience. Genes alone are not the only factor in schizophrenia. Stress plays a major role in schizophrenia. Stress plays a role in the appearance of schizophrenia. Stress, disease, malnutrition, and neglect increase the chances of a person developing schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is greater in cities than in rural areas. War also plays a role in a person developing schizophrenia. Schizophrenia usually develops in young adults. In regards to twins, the less stronger twin is usually the one who will develop schizophrenia. If you look at old home movies, it shows the weaker twin to have disorganized behavior. They're the ones that would walk, at a slower rate than their siblings, or would talk slower, things like that. The Guénin sisters had a whole life of issues. The first one to develop schizophrenia was the youngest and sickest. The abuse of their father also had a major impact on their psyche. Their female circumcisions was another horrendous ordeal that they had to go through, which could have affected their oncoming schizophrenia. Genes and the environment constantly interact to affect our behaviors. Genotypes are set during fertilization. Genes affect the way our bodies and brains are assembled. The way we express our genes depends on our environment. Strong interdependence between genes and experience. Hester Guénin was the most affected sister. She is now beyond any mental cognizance. Could her environment affected her? It's a theory that people are going upon, and scientists are working upon researching. And the early experience epigenetically affects the stress response in adulthood. In regards to rats, mothers that are more attentive to their pups allow the pups to be less fearful and stressed when they are older. The environment and childhood one grows through has a huge impact on the expression of one's genes.